what's your pivots if you see kind of like plateauing or just slight drops, up and down?
Yeah, the pivot is, of course, my shirt: rest, recovery, sleep. Um, I I think that high performance is always built on a foundation, not of hard work, a foundation of rest, recovery, sleep. If we are not rested, we are very limited in what we can accomplish. I just got back from a trip to Europe, and to get there from door to door, to get to Prague, it took 18 hours. I didn't sleep. And I was just shocked at how jet lag can rob you of your brain functions, your physical functions, everything. And in a microcosm, that's what poor sleep does, or lack of recovery. So we really have to coach kids in those other 22 hours of their life when they're not in practice. We have to really coach them. Now, what I say about plateaus is that we don't know when breakthroughs are going to happen. I was just talking to a sprint coach, a sprint-based football coach, just 2 days ago, where their team had their average guy, their team average improved by like 0.7 of a mile in a 1 week period. It's like everybody had a breakthrough at the same time. And he was asking me why this happened. And I said, hell, I don't know. I know that breakthroughs are mysterious, that you're going to be plateaued for a long time, and then you're going to have a breakthrough. So I think the plateau happens. I also say speed grows slow. I say speed grows like a tree. The speed is sometimes like the Dow Jones, that somehow we are not the same speed every day. That we have biorhythms or something going on, and you might run 22.5 miles an hour one day, 22 miles an hour 2 days later, 23 miles an hour at the end of the week. And you say, why did this happen? Sometimes it's just biorhythms. But I will say this, that when we are plateaued and we are still sprinting, we are still challenging, that we are hardwiring efficiency. And think about that, hardwiring efficient sprint technique. We are creating a groove of sprinting for our body. And for sure, that should keep us from getting slower. And I think it makes us more efficient in all of our running, because speed's the tide that lifts all boats. That if you become hardwired at 22 miles an hour, I believe 20 miles an hour is more efficient, feels easier, has less energy cost on us. So my metaphor is that sometimes we have breakthroughs, that we raise the ceiling. But when we're not having breakthroughs, consistent sprint training will raise the floor, so that slower speeds become ingrained in us, or easier to accomplish. And that goes along with speed reserve as well.
What you explained in your last two answers, I'll see a bunch of plateauing. The kids will get improved vastly out the gate. They'll plateau. And what's cool, especially with our middle school kids, is they'll go on those trips and come back and be like, holy shit.
Yeah, it makes you question the value of practice. Or I think McCaffrey actually says this. Works with Kula, where he believes that rest is a training day. And that's like, what? I'm like, not when I coach people to rest, I tell them to go do something that does not resemble your sport. Read a book, take a nap, do different things, go to a movie. I mean, like, truly, the last thing you want to do is sit around thinking you should be working. But yeah, I think those off days are just as important. I'm down now in track and field with my sprint group to a 4-day work week. And it's not because I'm lazy. It's because a 4-day work week is more effective than a 5-day work week. And here's my question. My question to myself: would a 3-day work week be better? And I don't know. Which brings up the idea that we are, as coaches, we read, Yeah, there's like research. I don't even though I'm a science teacher, I think that performance research is bullshit most of the time. That I really believe that what we do is we experiment, and we have to have the courage to try new things. And usually, the courage that coaches have is to work more, harder, 2 practices a day, things like that. I think we have to have the courage to try doing less. It's that the great quote out of essentialism, the disciplined pursuit of less, that we're constantly looking to edit. And edit does not mean add. Edit means to strip out the unnecessary stuff, the stuff that's holding us back. So I asked Corfus this the other day, like, maybe we should be going to a 3-day week. Who knows? And he goes, I already have. So the team that won the state championship in Illinois and won the 4x1, 4x2, their guys had a 3-day work week. And that means if you have 2 meets that week, that means you practice once. So here I am, not courageous enough to go to a 3-day week, but Chris Corfus has.
I found that personally myself in COVID. Kids wanted to go 4 days and what I found is we got big and strong during COVID, obviously because of volume.
Yep.
And then pulled back a day, we got fast as blank.
Yep. Good.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, thanks, Coach. Appreciate you.
I run into that a lot too, because the plateau thing, like I'll have people not PR for 3 months, and then all of a sudden they come in, they have the best run of their life. Here's by a lot. And I still don't understand why. I train these kids real early in the morning. I have no idea, because the recovery time, some people come in and say, well, I got 2 hours of sleep and I just ran my best. Can you explain that? I'm like, no.
Nope. Can't explain it.
But like the floor, I've been trying to measure the floor by the average fly time. Have you done anything with that before?
No, I really haven't. And, that'd be the type of nerdy thing that I would do. I think, or measure the floor as being, out of 10 sessions, your 3 worst. I don't know. But yeah, I think we would find something with that. So what you're saying is maybe we actually, our slow times are faster than they used to be.
Right.
And I think that's a really interesting thought. And more of my thought has been that our sub-max speeds are just so much more efficient, that it takes less energy. And I think that's why sprint-based football programs, one of the key things when you feed the cats is you don't do any conditioning. None. Like half of an S&C guy's job is done. It's strength and speed instead of strength and conditioning now. And really, really fast athletes do not tend to tire. This is crazy. But the fastest kids on your team are fast in the 4th quarter. Even if they're not in, like traditional shape, they are still fast in the 4th quarter. I think slow guys fatigue much more than your fast guys. And I know for sure, I've read where NFL, one of the reasons why they want fast offensive linemen in the NFL is because they play better fatigued in the 4th quarter. But then even more quantitative is the fact that fast offensive linemen have careers usually about twice as long as slow offensive linemen. That speed does not, or slow does not tire well, or it does tire, but slow doesn't age well. I mean, all of us kind of know that, slow guys when they're 40, they're not going to hardly be able to move. You want somebody that's athletic, and the number one thing about being an athlete is being fast.